When Tinder, the mobile dating app, launched on U.S. college campuses in 2012, it quickly became a hit. Tinder made the process of sifting through countless potential matches simple and fun by allowing users to swipe through photos with ease. It's safe to say that Tinder and its competitors completely transformed the traditional dating scene. Online dating usage skyrocketed during the pandemic as singles, feeling isolated due to lockdowns, turned to these platforms for connection. Tinder's competitor, Bumble, saw its market value soar to $13 billion on its first day of IPO in February 2021. That same year, Match Group, which owns Tinder, Hinge, and several other dating services, was valued at nearly $50 billion. According to research firm Business of Apps, around 350 million people worldwide have dating apps on their phones today, a sharp increase from 250 million in 2018. In June 2023, the Tokyo government even announced plans to launch its own matchmaking app to help singles find partners in the city. However, the appeal of online dating seems to be waning recently. Last year, global dating app downloads were 237 million, down from 287 million in 2020. Bumble reported on August 7th that its quarterly revenue grew by just 3% year over year. Following this news, Bumble's stock price plummeted by a third in after-hours trading. On July 30th, Match Group reported a revenue increase of only 4% for the same period. Since Bumble's IPO, both companies have seen their market values shrink significantly. This suggests that the golden age of dating apps is fading. Over time, people have started to realize the inherent issues with these platforms. Notably, younger generations, Gen Z and millennials, are showing a clear decline in enthusiasm for these apps. This trend isn't happening by chance, but is driven by multiple factors. As an observer, I'd like to delve into the reasons behind this shift and why more young people are choosing to distance themselves from these once wildly popular digital social tools. Reason number 1: superficial disappointment and frustration. Dating apps often rely on a swipe-to-match experience, where users quickly browse through photos and pick people they find interesting. However, this surface-level approach has increasingly left users feeling disappointed, especially among younger generations. Studies show that 90% of Gen Z users feel that the swiping experience resembles a slot machine, random and transactional. Many users end up spending a lot of time on these apps without forming genuine emotional connections, leading to growing frustration over time. Moreover, reports indicate that nearly half of the users have had negative experiences on dating apps. This accumulation of negative emotions further erodes users' trust and reliance on these platforms. Reason number 2: preference for real-life interactions. Beyond disappointment with dating apps, more and more young people are turning back to real-life interactions. This is not just a pushback against digital socializing. It's also a longing to reconnect through face-to-face communication. Data shows that 79% of college students don't use dating apps, preferring to meet new people through traditional social methods. In recent years, participation in events like speed dating and offline social gatherings has surged, with some activities experiencing growth rates of over 160%. Young people are showing a strong preference for more genuine and emotionally connected face-to-face interactions, which is undoubtedly one of the key reasons behind the decline of dating apps. Reason number 3: rising costs and subscription fatigue. As user engagement on dating apps has dropped, many platforms have tried to make up for the lost revenue by raising subscription fees. But this approach has backfired, driving even more users away. In fact, surveys show that over half of adult users would rather meet someone in real life than keep paying these high subscription fees to use the apps. And this subscription fatigue isn't just limited to dating apps. It's a trend across all kinds of digital services. People are getting tired of constantly being asked to pay for extra features, especially when those features don't really improve their experience in a meaningful way. Reason number 4: boredom-driven casual use. Another interesting trend is that a lot of younger users aren't even using dating apps to actually find a partner. They're just bored. About 67% of Gen Z users admit that they mainly use dating apps to pass the time, not because they're seriously looking for a relationship. This kind of casual usage seriously undermines the value of dating apps as a tool for meaningful connections, making them less attractive overall. Reason 5: the paradox of choice and the dilemma of dating standards. The paradox of choice in psychology suggests that the more options we have, the more likely we are to feel confused and dissatisfied. Dating apps perfectly illustrate this paradox. With nearly endless potential matches, users often fall into a state of decision paralysis, unsure of how to make a choice. They keep nitpicking and weighing options, always in search of a better choice, but end up feeling dissatisfied with every match. This only increases users' anxiety and gradually makes them lose patience and interest in using dating apps. Additionally, while the filtering options on these apps seem to help users find an ideal match, they also inadvertently eliminate many potential great relationships. Users often set overly idealistic criteria, overlooking factors that might attract them in real-life scenarios. This overly precise filtering creates a self-imposed limitation, preventing them from connecting with people of different backgrounds and interests. Reason 6. The pursuit of more meaningful social connections. We're also witnessing a cultural shift among young people, where there's a growing emphasis on depth and meaningful connections. Instead of rushing to find partners in the fast-paced digital world, more and more young individuals are returning to traditional social settings, like community events, clubs, and activities that foster genuine interactions. They're no longer satisfied with superficial online interactions. They crave deeper, more lasting emotional experiences. Romance isn't limited to bars. Running clubs have become a meeting ground for fitness enthusiasts. And cooking classes are now seen as a great place to meet a partner. As Julia Hartz, CEO of Eventbrite, points out, attendance at singles events on their platform grew by 42% from 2022 to 2023. Even if they're not your true love, you're still building a connection with someone and sharing a common experience. Looking at the points mentioned above, the decline of dating apps isn't just a coincidence. It's driven by several complex factors. Things like surface-level disappointment, a preference for real-life interactions, rising costs, the shift towards using these apps more for fun than serious connections, and broader cultural changes have all been chipping away at their appeal. To bring users back, dating apps are searching for new approaches. Some companies are banking on AI to spice things up. For example, Bumble's founder, Whitney Wolfe recently talked about a future where AI bots from two different people could go on dates with each other. There's already a new app called Volar that's offering something like this. Over time, society might become more comfortable with letting machines handle matchmaking, but it's tough to see that taking off anytime soon. A more effective strategy for dating apps might be to focus on niche markets. For instance, Grindr, which caters to gay men, has been growing fast. Similarly, Field, which is aimed at people in polyamorous relationships, is expanding quickly too. In recent years, Match Group has launched several apps for different groups, including Archer for gay men, Stir for single parents, BLK and Chispa for minority groups, and The League for high-achieving professionals. These apps don't just offer smaller dating pools, but also serve as communities for like-minded people. Grindr, for example, isn't just a dating app. It doubles as a travel guide for gay-friendly bars and a platform for AIDS-related information. The company says its average user sends 50 messages a day, which is on par with messaging services like WhatsApp. This kind of success might explain why Bumble's CEO, Lydianne Jones, has said she wants Bumble to be seen as a connection company, not just a dating app. Achieving that kind of brand shift won't be easy, but then again, love has never been a simple business. For the future of dating apps, addressing these challenges is crucial. As user needs evolve, these platforms might need to undergo significant changes to offer a more authentic and meaningful social experience. Without this, they'll struggle to maintain an edge in the fiercely competitive social market. The younger generation is seeking deeper emotional connections, which might hint at a new direction for the future of dating apps, focusing more on quality rather than quantity. If you're feeling disillusioned with these platforms, maybe give an offline event a try or join a club that aligns with your interests. You might just find that stepping away from the screen makes it easier to discover a genuine emotional connection.